Hey everybody, welcome to part 7 of building the Enterprise D from Eaglemoss and Hero Collector. So in this video we are going to be highlighting stages 23 and this is stage 24 here. Looks like we're going to be doing some neck work on these, which is pretty cool. There is stage 25, more lights, more windows, and there is stage 26. Alright, so this looks like it's going to be even more fun. Here's the magazine now for these parts, and once again we get to see the parts that are included in these stages. There we go. So we're going to be doing a lot more panels on the saucer. The saucer is going to have a lot of panels. I'll be interested to see if the bottom half of the saucer is done the same way, because it doesn't have as many windows if I can recall. But yeah, it's pretty intense actually. Looks like we're going to be doing some neck work. Oh, there's a battery pack in there, and also some skeletal structure in the neck, and some more panels here, and then the cool synopsis of different episodes. This episode here, I love this episode, Conspiracy. That's the one where those creatures were embedding themselves into Starfleet personnel, and they're going to take over. And they were these creepy looking things, and it had a very graphic scene right here, and I was really surprised when I first saw this on TV when it first aired. I was really surprised they got away with it because they actually show I can't remember the name of this guy, Remick. They actually show his head getting blown up. Oh, I'm totally out of camera range. Okay, so yeah, you can see how they did the effect, and I was really surprised that they got away with this because it was pretty gory, and I think they did get some complaints on it afterwards, because I think in some states they would not play this scene, they would just cut it. But it was a pretty wild scene. You can see the body, special effect that they use right there for Remick, and the mother queen creature was inside of him. It was pretty wild. And then this is the puppet that they used for that. And that's what those creatures look like right here. They were really neat. And they used stop motion for those. So yeah, those are cool. I think I remember seeing those go up for auction too. And then some Romulan stuff. Cool little thing going on there with the model. And just some other stuff here. Oh yeah, Dr. Pulaski, who was only in season 2. Yeah. All right, so let's get started on these builds. Stage 23 now consists of these parts here, starting with this nice metal piece of the panel. More awesome paint job there. Okay, and then we have another battery box cover and the screw that is also going to cover it. We have some more of the escape pods and I already put the Mike Lane Mod stickers on these. And then some more windows. Looks like black windows. All right, so let's get started. First thing we're going to be working on now is this battery pack. So this is the original battery pack that we started out with. So we have 3 fresh, brand new batteries. This one goes up positive. This one goes down with the negative up, and then the positive back up for this one. And then we have the new battery lid here to put on. And once again, watch this little tab, because that's always a problem. I'm not really sure why they did that, but it'll get stuck on the battery right here, and then it won't make the contact that you see going on in there. And that's what happened when in part well, the part before this, I'm losing track now, and I was having problems with trying to get the lights to work in the neck, and that's why. It was because of that. So when you put this on, be careful of that tab. All right, and then we're going to use this screw to secure it. Okay, so that is on now. And then next step is we're going to take the panel here and we're going to put 9 of the escape pods on and 3 of the black windows in there. So let me get that done. Okay, so those are now in place. So now back to the saucer again here. We are going to place this panel. Gotta slide it under here. Now this panel is going to go right in here. And let me see if I can position it. Now we have to put it right up against these holes. Okay, and then we're going to have 1 BM screw here to hang on to this. And then we're going to be sliding these lights. Actually, I guess I can probably just do that now. These lights were left over from previously, so now they fit right in these slots. And while we got this loose enough to slide those in, I'll do that right now. Okay. Oops, that one slipped out. Okay, and then after this, let me get that BM screw in there. Okay, so now at this point you can put in 5 more BM screws there, there, and here, and then there, and there. So now, oh, and here too. And then you put EM screws in here as well. So this thing is really securely on here, but this is a metal piece, and I've noticed the metal pieces have a lot of things screwed into them. All right, so now we can actually test for the lighting and make sure it works. Okay, so now all those lights are working. They look very, very good. So weird how they look blue on camera, but they're kind of purple colored. All right, very neat. I love it. Looks very, very good. All right, on to, I believe we're now moving on to stage 24. Okay, so stage 24 consists of another nice metal panel piece here. And then more windows, of course, some BM screws. And this is a nice, cool piece here. This is a metal frame for the neck. So we're actually going to be building these infrastructure of the neck. We have a couple more reflector pieces, more of the escape pods, and a couple strings of lights. All right, so now we're going to add this nice piece here to the neck. So we're going to start building the nice little skeleton here. So we match these up to these holes like that. Try to make sure the wires aren't all crimped in there. All right, and I think 3 BM screws and 1 FM screw up here is what's going to hold that in place. Okay, so that is in, and that's a nice solid piece. All right, so now the next step is we are going to put more of the windows in here and the escape pods in here. So let me get all that done. All right, so those are now all in place. So we take the reflector right here, and this goes like this to hold all these windows in. Just want to make sure they're all there. And then we're going to take the wires that have the 2 LEDs, and the yellow and black wired LED goes right in here. And then 4 BM screws hold that in place. Okay, so now that's in place. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this reflector panel now, and we are going to, I think actually we're supposed to bend these down here. So let's go and do that. Supposed to do that in a couple of extra steps here. So now let's go ahead and put that right in here. And then, let's see, this bulb that's still on here is going to go right in here. So let me get that on. Okay, and as usual, the wires are always crimped in there. Okay, and then this big, we have a really long wire right here for this bulb. And this one goes on this side over here. So let's get that in there. Okay, and then 4 more BM screws hold this all together, and then we're going to test the lights. Wow, okay, that looks really good. Oh man, I love it. It's amazing how much light these LEDs give off. I mean, there's only 3 of them, but at the same time, it's amazing how many lights they use just to light up a few windows. All right, well now this is going to start being installed onto the saucer frame. All right, so now we are working on this part of the saucer. So now this panel is going to go right in this corner right here. So this wire here has got to go all the way over here into this little narrow section here. Okay, and then let's see, this one goes underneath this very first square here. All right, so now we got to flip this over so that I can attach it. You've got to make sure these flaps go down inside where they're supposed to go in there, so like that. Okay, so let me flip it over and we'll attach it. Okay, so it was brutal, but I got it on here. This screw right here, it kept, well, it's, I don't know, I don't like how much pressure is on there. This one here is holding it okay. Here, let me flip this over real quick. So this corner right here, it was popped up just a little bit, and I had to really push on it because I don't know if you can see it, but these holes have little indentations in it, and so the posts that are on the back here have to kind of fit in there, but you have to make sure it's in there absolutely perfect, and those 3 things have to be in there nice and tight. But you know, I was just noticing that even from the back, well, you really can't see it from this angle, but there's a little bit of light leakage I can see kind of going on in between these panels. So I hope that's not going to look really bad. Hopefully, when we are at the stage where this is all completely done, if I find out there is some light leaks, maybe I can just put some black tape in the back behind there, and hopefully it won't interfere with the way the top and the bottom go together. And I'm very curious to see how the top and the bottom of the saucer go together, because we don't know yet. And I'm assuming there's going to be an edge on here as well. But I don't think there's any windows on the edge as far as I found out. I mean, I think the prototype had it, but I'm not sure the final model does, including the 10 forward windows. So I guess we'll have to wait till we get to that point. All right, so now we are on to stage 25. Okay, these are the parts that come with stage 25. So we have another metal piece for the other side of the neck. A bunch of clear windows. There's like two of these. Well, actually, there's two of the black ones too. A strand of a couple of LEDs, a bunch of screws, the plastic panel piece, and then also, this is kind of interesting, the reflector on this one actually has a black strip on there, so I've never seen that before. So it must be some kind of light blocker, so that's kind of cool. We'll see how that comes into play. And of course, some more of these lifeboats. So, you know, as I mentioned, I've been using the Mike Lane Mod stickers for these, and Mike, if you're watching, these stickers are nice and I really like them, but as you can see here, they're kind of sometimes hard to get off of here. When you're trying to peel these off, the whole paper comes off, and sometimes it's hard to separate the paper from the actual adhesive. So maybe you can make these just a little bit better, but I do love these. These are absolutely great. I mean, they look really good on these things. All right, well, anyway, just a little footnote there. All right, let's get started with these. Okay, so once again, a new panel with a bunch of windows and some more escape pods. All right, so now we're going to take this reflector, and let me see, we need to very carefully put this on. So let's match up these holes. So these three holes here are going to go right on here. Okay, and then we have to take this strand of wires here, and let's see, which one do we need? Yellow and white. That's going to go in this little diagonal one right here. And let's see, where is it? Right here. These diagonal ones are kind of tricky. All right, so then 3 BP screws hold this together. Okay, so I have no idea why this panel was so hard to put together. I spent 45 minutes on this thing. Every time I was trying to get everything together, these windows kept popping out, especially the escape pods here. I don't know, it's like almost like things weren't quite fitting as good as they normally do as far as these windows go. And then I noticed like the darker windows had a lot more gaps between them, so I knew there were going to be some major light leaks in there. So I actually had some leftover, this is just a little bit of it left, that sticker that was used in whatever stage it was where we actually had to put a sticker on top of some of the black windows. And I ended up putting what was left of that behind these because I know these were going to have some really bad light leaks. And then I realized that this black strip now is because there's this big open area, and I think that's why these kept falling off so easily, is because they're right on the edge. And I actually had to glue these in. Well, this one's actually still kind of jiggly. But yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, that was a really nasty panel to deal with. Okay, so now we are concentrating on this side of the saucer now. So this panel that we just got done working on. So this wire here goes through here. Let me just get it through here for now. Okay, and then let's see the other LED here. See, this goes underneath here and then back out. If I can get it, let me see if I can just do it this way. This goes back out this way. Okay, I think that's how they got it. Yes. All right, so now this is going to go here. Oh gosh, that wire looks like it's going to get crimped again. I hate it. All right, well, let me flip this over and then we'll attach it to the frame. Okay, so looking at it through this way now. So let's see, well, this came out, but we'll worry about that later. All right, so now this wire, to kind of bend it out. And we are going to secure this on with one DP screw right there. Okay, so next, this wire is now going to go through here. I think we have to go this way. I have no idea how I'm going to get this in from this angle. Oh, hey, it went right in there. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, something actually worked out right. Okay, so another DP screw right here to fasten that on. All right, another test of the lights, and thankfully everything works. All right, so now on to the next step. Okay, so now we're back to the neck here. So we got to take this green LED and put it in this little spot right here. Okay, and it's probably not going to stay, but that's where it's going to go. And then we're going to take this remaining frame piece. Now we have to push all these wires in here, kind of keep it bundled up in the middle here, except for the switch. The switch, you want to leave that kind of over in this way, because we're going to be putting that frame on, which goes right here. Okay, and then let me put that LED back in its spot. So let's see, is that going to, oh, I see, that's probably going to get held in there. Boy, that's going to be kind of tricky, isn't it? Let me see if I can get, wonder if this would be better down here. Okay, let me see. Boy, I tell you, everything with the wiring on here has been just crazy. All right, so here's this. Let's see, I got to get this switch out of the way again. And, geez. Okay. Now, let's see, there's going to be some BM screws that are going to hold this together. There's an FM screw here, and I think there's a single AM screw on the other side. So let me get all this mess put together. Okay, wow, that was pretty serious work there. So there's a lot of things you got to do before you attach this. You got to make sure all these wires are inside here. And then here, let me zoom in a little bit here. So, I mean, you can tell that there is, I mean, you got to make sure that nothing's getting, cinched up in the split right here. And then you got to make sure that all of this is over here. The switch light is out of the way. You don't want to get it caught under here. You got to make sure the LED stays in that little pocket right there while you're trying to manage all this. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on. And then, of course, you secure it down here with 3 screws. There's one up here, and then there's one down here that kind of holds these together. And it's cool, that little light right there, I'm assuming is going to be for the photon torpedo. Here, let me turn on the switch. See how there's a light right in there? So that's pretty neat. I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that that there was a light in there. So yeah, anyway, whew, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff going on in that neck. All right, now we're on to stage 26. Stage 26 is going to be a real quick one. There's not much to it at all. We just have a regular panel here. This is a plastic piece. And then the reflector, some black windows, and a strand of lights here, and then some clear windows. All right, so that's it. We'll go ahead and get started on that. First off now, we got this panel, and of course there's windows, and yes, windows. All right, so at least there's no escape pods on this one. All right, so now I already put those in, and then let's see, there is a reflector right here. Now this actually has an LED, so with these, the lights that you get with this set, you're gonna take the red and black wired LED here, and it goes into this pocket right here, but what's kind of weird about it is, see how it's got this kind of curve to it? So you gotta make sure you make it so that the wire will go out that curve, because otherwise it's gonna stick up over here, and that reflector is not gonna stay on there very good. And then we're gonna turn this over, and that's gonna fit right in here. And then 3 BP screws hold that together. Once again now, we are on the left end, well, looking at it on the left end of the saucer here. So now that panel that we just did is going to go right in here. So these wires have to go through this area again. And just push all of that in there. And I'm sure I'm going to have to fight with how that's going to go in, because as always, these wires are always right together, and I hate that. I don't know why they... Oh, that's so frustrating. All right, well, let me flip this over. Okay, so once again, we've got wires smashing into wires here. I mean, it's just I just do not, for the life of me, understand. Oops, I'm trying to zoom in here. Sorry about that. I'm trying to show you. I mean, look at this. It's just, I don't understand why. Why do they do this? I mean, you're cramming 4 wires into this tiny thing, and you know, it's got the rubber stuff around the edge here, and you are trying to align this hole right here to go in there. That's where it gets attached. And I mean, you're smashing these wires in here, and I just do not understand the illogic behind this design. But anyway, let me smash it in there and put the screw on. Okay, so next, after we got that screw on, we got to try to get this LED. We got to keep the wire going over this way. Who knows if that's actually going to be beneficial. And then this LED has got to go in this slot right in here. And then another BP screw is going to fasten all of that together. Okay, so now that is all in place now. So we got quite a bit done at this stage. This is after stage 26 now. We got quite a bit going on with the whole, look at all these wires. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is really just insane. So anyway, I gotta say it's exhausting. I mean, after just maybe 4 or 8 of these stages, you're kind of worn out. And especially when you're fighting with just certain ways that things are designed, I don't know. I still question some of the way they do things. But I guess that's just the way it is. I just hope that everything works out in the end. And of course, a test of the lights, and everything works. Okay, very, very good. This is what we've got on the top so far, and it's really coming along pretty nice. I must say, the more you put on, the more it looks better and better. These outer ones are kind of the more troublesome panels, just because when you start putting these on, they have these kind of diagonal LEDs that go in there, and now you got to put another light, and it's always right in the same corner. I don't know why they can't alternate that a little bit and just make it a little more pleasant to put those together and not, crunching up wires like that. These Mike Lane Mod stickers, I think these look really good. I think those look fantastic. I mean, now that I've seen them kind of more on here now, I think those look really, really good. So I highly recommend those. Like I mentioned, I think in part 1, they're from MikeLaneMods.com. Just check him out. He's based in the UK. These stickers are expensive. I think they cost me about 60 bucks. He also has rub-on transfers, but I think those are a little harder to apply, because if you scratch them on and peel off the paper and it's crooked, I'm not sure you can take that off. At least with these you can, but they're pretty easy to put on, and they look really good. Let's see, what else? We also got the neck. This is what we got with the neck now so far. And that was another bit of insanity. Wow. All right, well, that takes care of, what was it, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So we're moving right along here. So thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you're enjoying it. It's been pretty challenging so far, but I do like it. And anyway, so I hope you like it. Please give the video a like, subscribe if you'd like as well. So thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. I'll see you on the next episode, and have a good one.